1.03. Matt Waldman, who are we going with at 1.03?
So we're looking at this as a new team here, right?
Yeah,
so,
total. These are all like within their own little entities.
All right. So then, I'm looking at Malik Nabers at this point, and I hate for Malik Nabers that he's a New York Giant right now because he seems to be hating the idea that he's a New York Giant. But I think
Daniel Jones, all-time great press conference where he just like butchers the starting quarterback's name.
Yeah, because he's hoping to God that Drew Lock has turned a corner.
What a tough way to be. Like, you got to hope for Drew Lock.
I'm telling you, but I think that's probably what's going on is when you're in your pre-draft visit and you're on camera saying, don't draft me unless you got someone who's going to be able to get me the ball, and now they draft you. I mean, this could be a disaster. I understand. But at the same point, I think at this stage you rely on talent. And when you're looking at overall talent, not just on fit, but just overall what a player can do, I think he's the best player of the skill players in this draft. I think he's the best route runner in terms of the selection and application of release movements with his footwork and his hands. I think he tells the most efficient stories as a route runner with his stems, like the types of stems that you should be using on certain types of routes. He's not playground with how he moves. He's very efficient, and he has really great selection and a great vocabulary of moves that he can use during the stem, during the top of the route, and then he can make all the breaks you want him to make. And he is tough at the catch point and quick twitch after the catch. I mean, I don't know if Antonio Brown is a great comparison for him, but I thought Odell Beckham was a good comparison for him, when you look at the skill set. And he's going to be the man right away. I think he's the most equipped to have to be the man right away. It doesn't mean it's going to translate to four. I think any of these receivers who were the top three, that if you're expecting 1,400 yards and you're trading your entire house to get these guys to say you have them, you've made a mistake, especially in this deep of a draft class. So that's why I kind of mentioned with Marvin Harrison some of the things I did, because I'm I don't trade 3 first-round picks to get him. People are going to soak you to get this guy. If he lands, if you happen to have the pick to get him, good for you. If you didn't, just build a good team. Because you might build enough surplus that you could get Harrison for less 2 to 3 years from now than you are probably going to have to pay for him in a rookie draft. So with Nabers, it's not as much of a demand for him, but I think the gap between him and Harrison is minimal. And, look, if Darius Slayton can have borderline fantasy level production, I think Malik Nabers can exceed that pretty easily, even first year.
Well, I think the fun part about Nabers is that he's equipped to be the man in a very different way than these other two guys are, just because of how he's going to line up, right? His alignment data is very different than Rome Odunze or Marvin Harrison, right? And they're going to be able to hide, you talk about, there's really no way to hide Marvin Harrison, because you're going to, if to use him right and get the best out of him, you're going to have to put him on the boundary, and you're going to have him run out as that X receiver. I think if you did that with Malik Nabers, that's certifiably crazy. You're not doing that. You're going to be able to hide him as in condensed formations. You're going to be able to put him off the line of scrimmage, give him some of those free releases, and Daniel Jones can mess that up, but he's got to work really hard to mess that up. So I think that is what, if you're looking for instant impact from Malik Nabers, that's the story you have to tell yourself. But I do agree with you that overall, and there are some receivers that landed in some interesting spots that we'll talk about here shortly that could produce more in year one than Nabers or Rome Odunze, just because of the target competition.